guys, it's Gamer Ahmer here. So as you can tell, I'm a huge Nintendo fan. So today we're going to go ahead and check out some of my rare, expensive, and favorite Nintendo GameCube items in my collection. So some of these items you may have seen in some of my previous videos, and some are brand new to my collection. So let's go ahead and check it out. First up, as you can tell, I'm wearing this pretty sweet Nintendo related t-shirt. Now this was actually released in the GameCube era. So it says Nintendo Rehabilitation Clinic. The first step is admitting you have a problem. So this was a pretty cool promotional item back in the GameCube era. And Nintendo used a lot of different slogans and a lot of different promotional sayings to go ahead and help throughout the years. So this one is one of the pretty sweet shirts that I have in my collection from the GameCube era. And this shirt right here is brand new to my collection. I actually just got it through eBay. So this right here is a pretty standard button-up blouse, and it says the Nintendo difference on here. So this would be a shirt that one of the employees would have worn back in the day in the GameCube era. So I'll go ahead and zoom in on this pretty awesome image right here. And then moving on to some other pretty sweet items in my collection. We have this pretty cool Nintendo GameCube mat right here. Now this you may have seen in a previous video, but this is a pretty cool mat that would go on top of a counter and help to promote some of the Nintendo games. So this one says, "Who are you?" which is another campaign that Nintendo used to do back in the day. So they would have all of these different characters right here, and this would help kind of advertise which games you could see yourself playing. So we have tons of different characters here, and we have Mario, Zelda characters, Link, Donkey Kong, Wario, Toad, Yoshi, just tons of great characters right here. So this definitely helped back in the day to go ahead and advertise for various Nintendo games for the Nintendo GameCube. Now on to some more promotional items. We actually have this pretty sweet shot glass right here. Now this one says Mario Party 7 on the shot glass. So it has this little metal piece right here, and it has the Mario Party 7 logo on here. Now this was one of those promotional items that you could go ahead and add when Mario Party 7 was actually being released. And I know that they made several others for other video games during this time, so I'm out to collect those as well. I know that they did one for the Donkey Kong games. And then of course, moving on to this item right here. So this one is the Starfox Adventure Survival Kit. Now I did an entire video on this as well. So this was a pre-order bonus from Circuit City back when this game came out for the Nintendo GameCube. And what you would do is snag this pretty awesome item right here when you went to pick up your pre-ordered game. So here it comes with this pretty sweet door tag. So it says Starfox Adventures, enter at your own risk, R-Wing refueling. And then on this side it says, do not enter, adventures in progress, Starfox Adventures. Then it has some characters on here. And then it also came with this pretty cool air freshener right here, which we have some characters from the game on here. So this is still sealed and still in this pouch right here. And then this was also included with this pre-order bonus. This is an original bag from Circuit City, so it says make a wish come true. So I thought that that was pretty neat to add to this pre-order set because it shows the authenticity of this item right here. And then it even came with some pretty awesome toilet paper that had some game tips for the Starfox Adventures game. So it has all of these different tips all the way down on this whole roll of toilet paper, and this one is actually still sealed. And then it even came with this Jones Soda Company Green Apple Soda, and it has this image on here. It says Starfox Adventures, Fox Fuel, Nintendo GameCube, and has various characters on here as well. And then moving on to some pretty neat controllers that I have found over the years to add to my GameCube collection. So right here we have this Resident Evil 4, and this is the chainsaw controller. So this one came in this pretty cool package just like this. Now they did make one of these for the PlayStation 2 as well, but it looks very different, and I do like this one. So it says for the GameCube on here, and of course here's the game that you would go ahead and play with this controller. So if we go ahead and open this up, we have this Resident Evil 4 Capcom, and then this controller is yellow, and it looks like there's blood all over this controller. There's even some fingerprints on here in the blood, and this is also out of 50,000 units. So this is number 1,212 out of 50,000. It's definitely odd to play a game with this controller. And then it came with this pretty neat base right here that you'd go ahead and put this chainsaw on. So it would just rest in here just like this, and this made for a pretty neat display. But I like having it in this little box because it looks even better in here as well. And then it even came with all of this information about the controller here and the game. And then up next, moving on to another neat controller. I actually have this one in my collection. Now I actually really like this game right here, and I really like this box style. So this is the Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix. So it has Mario on the front here, and this pack actually comes with this DDR dance mat. It shows Mario in the middle breakdancing, and then it comes with the game. So this is definitely a pretty cool game, and I really like this art style on this box. So it also shows some images from the gameplay here. And then, of course, we have some of these Donkey Kong Jungle Beat boxes right here that include these DK bongos. So these looked just like this display right here, and these were also pretty fun in the GameCube era. And this one is Soul Calibur 2, and this one's pretty neat because on here it has different switches for the PlayStation 2, the Xbox, and the GameCube. So this one is definitely a pretty cool fight stick, as it's one of the smaller ones, and this was a great game, and I loved playing this game on the GameCube growing up, and I don't see this one often. This was actually the first time seeing this one in person, so I had to pick it up and add it to my collection, as it is really cool, and you can go ahead and switch it out with different systems. And then of course some more controllers. I have this complete in box Nintendo GameCube controller, and this is actually from Japan. So this is a Hori controller for the Nintendo GameCube, camouflage style controller pattern on here. And this one is in very great shape because it's new in the package right here. And I just thought this one was pretty neat to add to my collection and put on display, as it has all of this Japanese writing on here. A couple more controllers here. We have some of these Marvel and DC controllers. So this one, of course, has some DC characters, Batman, Superman. This one has Spider-Man on here. So these are just some neat controllers that you don't see every day for the GameCube. And tons of these cartoon style characters were actually placed on GameCube controllers. So there are some SpongeBob ones and some Mega Man ones that I still have to add to my collection. But I thought that these ones were pretty neat, and they definitely add some character to these style controllers. So I really enjoy these ones. And then of course, anytime I find different color controllers, I have to add them to my collection. So as soon as I saw this pretty neat teal colored, I had to add it to my collection, as it's definitely different than the 3 that were released in North America. And then of course, moving on to a couple other cool items in my collection, we have these figures right here. Now these are pretty expensive and they are very hard to find, especially in great shape and still new in the package. So right here, these are the GamePro figures, and I do have some other styles of these figures in my collection for other various systems. So these were actually released during the Sonic Adventure 2 battle game. So this one is Sonic the Hedgehog, and then of course right here we have Shadow. So this says, from the hit video game Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, this action figure is based on Everyone rated product. And then this has the character right here, and then it also has a pretty neat base. And then it has all of these stickers on the front here from Sega. And then if we open it up, it actually shows a full image right here of Shadow. So it says GameCube Pro Reviews. So it has all of this information about the game here, some gameplay, and the characters involved. And then on the back here, it shows some other style characters and games that they offer this for. It says complete your collection of the entire GamePro Presents line of action figures and collectibles. And then down here it says play Sonic Adventure 2 Battle on the Nintendo GameCube today. So this was definitely great for promoting the GameCube. And then this Sonic one is pretty neat as well, because it does the same exact thing. You open it up and you see Sonic the Hedgehog, and it says GameCube Pro Reviews on here. And then once again on the back it shows various other games and figures that they have this for. It's not every day that you find these. I actually found this one on eBay, and then I found the Sonic one in store at a local game shop for a great deal. And then on to some pretty neat consoles in my collection. So of course we have this North American silver GameCube right here. Now the only difference between this and a standard is this little jewel cap right here. So it says Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. Now GameCube actually offers tons of these different top jewel faceplates right here that you can go ahead and change out on your systems. Now I have seen tons over the years, especially for different regions, so I will try and collect some of those whenever I find them for a pretty great deal, as some of them are pretty rare and pretty expensive. And then of course I have this box for my silver GameCube. This one was the Mario Kart Double Dash bonus set. Now this is the same one that I actually had growing up. I had the same exact model right here. I actually bought a GameCube when it had this Mario Kart Double Dash bonus item included. So it came with bonus Nintendo GameCube 2 controllers were included, plus this Mario Kart Double Dash game. And this one brings back a lot of memories, as I remember this box growing up and had the same exact style right here. And then of course, in Japan they released this spice orange color of the Nintendo GameCube, which I actually have in my collection here. And I actually have this complete in box as well. So they also got a different style box than we did over here in North America. So it says Nintendo GameCube on here, and it has this little handle, and it's just a generic and smaller box. Then of course, continuing on with some consoles, I actually added this one to my collection. Now this is not like your typical Nintendo GameCube console. This is the Nintendo GameCube NR reader, and this one is definitely rare, as this says on here NTSC USA, and this even has its own matching serial number on here to the console itself. Now it has this pretty neat color on here, so this one is definitely different than this color right here as this controller. Now this one definitely is pretty hard to find, and when you do find it, you have to pay a pretty penny for it, and especially to get it complete in the box with the matching serial number is next to impossible to find. So on here it has a switch for USA and Japan, and it's still sealed here with some Nintendo stickers on here, and this is just in amazing shape. Now it doesn't actually play regular games on here. You need these actual NR reader discs that go with this system for when you can actually review games back in the day. So this is definitely a pretty sweet piece of history right here, and this is one of my holy grails for the Nintendo GameCube era. So I'm really excited to have this one in my collection, and I'll have to get some more of those NR reader discs so that I can go ahead and play some of these games like they used to back in the development of the Nintendo GameCube. So moving on to some of these counter displays that I have. Now this one you may have seen in a previous video, as this one is more recent in my collection. So this is for the Donkey Konga game, and it has these pretty neat bongos on here. So this one isn't just your standard generic cardboard standee. This one has a little bit more to it, as it has this plastic on here and these pretty neat bongos, which really make for a great display for that game. I have this one in my collection. It's a thin cardboard display, but it has some pretty cool games and advertisements on here. So of course it advertises Crash Bandicoot and the Wrath of Cortex, so we have him right here. It has WrestleMania with some of the characters in the game. Then it has Home Run King with some more characters. And then we have this freestyle game. We have this bike right here. And then we have a character from the game. And then of course on the back side it actually does the same thing. This kind of has this pop out effect to it. And then of course, moving on to another style display, we have this pretty cool box. Now just looking at the back of it, you can tell that it says only for Nintendo GameCube, and then it's just a regular rectangle style box. It has this custom Robo image on here, and it says multiplayer battle at the top there. But then when we flip it around, it actually has this really cool effect to it. So it has this box right here. In the middle it has this particular style plastic. Then we have various pieces right here. So these are actually cardboard pieces. They kind of make this have a different effect on here. This custom Robo part pops out. Then the arms and the legs right there just add on, and they also pop out. And then of course, this one right here. This one even came in the original shipping box. So right here, it has this cardboard box on it. And then it even says Nintendo GameCube part number 57085 Fire Emblem Path of Radiance medium display box. And then when we open it up, we have this beautiful counter display right here. So this one is not like some of the others. It has on the back side a larger image of the game right there. It looks like a game box, so it is shaped just like a Nintendo GameCube game. It says only for Nintendo GameCube and has some images on there. And this has this pretty cool shiny effect to it. It looks like it has this gloss and it has this shine on here. So at the top here, it pops out and says Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. And we have some characters on here. So it has this triangle effect where it kind of slants right there, and then on this side, and then it pops out in the middle. And this is in very great shape. And then it's pretty neat that it even has the original shipping box with it for back when it was shipped to local GameStops or other places that had these on display at their counters. So this is definitely a beautiful piece, and I'm really lucky to have found this one local from a buddy of mine for such a great deal, as this game is one of the most expensive GameCube games. And then another great display. I actually just added this one to my collection. Now this one I have not seen before in person, and I actually got it from the same buddy of mine who actually had this one for sale. So this is a Pikmin 2 display piece right here, and this one is just so beautiful. It says Nintendo GameCube on there, it says Pikmin 2 at the top, and then once again it has this pretty cool pop out pieces on here. So we have various characters from the game. This one's on a spring. These ones are just placed in here on this little leaf. And then of course, moving on to expensive games and just some pretty cool pieces, we have some of these GameCube preview discs. Now this one, it's a mini disc for your PC. Preview the hottest clips for upcoming Nintendo GameCube games. See the custom features of Nintendo's new system and get the latest updates from NintendoGameCube.com and much more. Put it in your CD-ROM drive. Does not play as a Nintendo GameCube. So this is a preview CD-ROM, and it comes in a cardboard piece right here that looks just like the top of a Nintendo GameCube. And then the back piece looks like the bottom. And then a similar style, we have this one right here. It's the top of a Nintendo GameCube. We have this Metroid character at the top. Then it says playable on DVD player or PC with DVD drive. So this is a preview disc, and it says we've got the games you want. So this is more advertisement for various games, and this one's actually still sealed. And then a couple more preview discs. We have these in Gamecube Cases. This one is a preview disc for Resident Evil 4, and it says includes playable demo. This is the not for resale version. And then we have this one, which has 4 games on here, but it says 5 playable demos. So it has Sonic Adventure DX, Director's Cut, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, Beautiful Joe, Billy Hatcher, and the Giant Egg. And then on the back here, it shows Soul Calibur 2. So it says a bonus playable demo. And then it has some various titles at the bottom. It says 2 downloadable games. So these are definitely pretty sweet, and they both are the not for resale versions of these preview discs. And then of course, moving on to some pretty expensive GameCube games in my collection. So I'll go ahead and start out with some Mario titles here. So of course we have this Mario Kart Double Dash, and this is a complete in-box copy. Now these ones are very fun games. They're very sought out for people who actually play GameCube games, and this is such a fun game. I actually prefer this one over a lot of the other Mario Karts, as I loved all of the different characters, the fact that you had 2 characters in each kart, and I loved all of the different levels and places that you could go. So this was definitely a fun game, and it remains a little bit up there in price. Then we have Super Smash Bros. Melee, which is another great game. This is a great Mario title that everyone loves and everyone plays. And then moving on to some of these Mario parties, we have Mario Party 4, Mario Party 5, Mario Party 6. And then we even have this special Mario Party 7. Now this one is larger than your standard size game, as it actually comes with the bonus microphone included that you need when you play this game. So this is one of the pretty hard to find cardboard boxes, but there are several other ones that you could go ahead and snag for the GameCube. And then moving on to Super Mario Sunshine, which is another great game. And then this Super Mario Strikers, soccer as you've never seen it. This one was so much fun back in the day, and I really enjoyed it. And then moving on to some non-Mario titles, we have this one right here. This is the Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition. This is the promotional disc, which includes 4 classic games, and it says not for resale. Now, of course, anything Zelda is also going to be pretty expensive, so this one is up there in price, and it comes complete with all of the different paperwork that's included as well. This pretty neat game. This is one of the best shoot 'em up games, especially on the Nintendo GameCube. This is Ikaruga, which is definitely up there in price as well. And then lastly, we have this Fire Emblem Path of Radiance game, which goes great with the Standee right here. This one is over $100, and it just continues to rise in price. And then, of course, the most expensive game on the GameCube, we have Cubivore, which is definitely an odd title. It even says Cubivore Survival of the Fittest, one of the most bizarre video games ever created, from IGN. Now this is definitely a crazy game. It says eat or be eaten. Assume the role of an animal in its early stages of evolutionary development. As your animal instincts take over, you will boldly traverse hostile environments and savagely stalk your prey to assert your place in the animal chain of power. Will you have what it takes to become the new king of the beast? So it has this cubic style that is definitely a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to playing this game, as I haven't actually played it, and because it was so expensive, I actually had to wait until I could find such a great deal. And of course, everything is included in here, and it's in very great shape. And then, of course, moving on to larger Nintendo GameCube displays, we have this full-size Standee. Now, this one is not like the counter displays that you just saw. This one is a larger full-size Standee, and it's just about the same height as me. I'm about 5'2", so this thing is huge. And this is the Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door RPG Standee. I found it local, got it from a buddy of mine for a great deal. And this thing is just so beautiful. Now this is a Mario Kart Double Dash banner for the Nintendo GameCube, and it says only for the Nintendo GameCube. So this banner is so awesome looking. It's definitely a beautiful addition to my display pieces right here. It is double-sided as well, and it's in very great shape. So these two are definitely some of the larger displays that I have in my collection, and they are just beautiful pieces. And I love that I got both of these for great deals, as I've seen these sell for quite a bit of money. So these are definitely great pieces right here, and they just look amazing. And then, of course, we move on to this Nintendo GameCube Kiosk. This is by far my favorite piece in my entire collection. As I found this local, I found it cheap, and this thing is beautiful. It came with the full and complete disc for this kiosk right here, and this is the one that includes Luigi's Mansion, Wave Race, and Star Wars Rogue Leader, which is actually on here. I even upgraded and added brand new controllers for this kiosk, and that was actually included with the kiosk when I purchased it. So this definitely is so beautiful, and this is by far my favorite. Everything lights up perfect. It's in amazing shape, and I can't be any more thrilled with this piece right here. And then last up, we have this beautiful Nintendo neon sign, which is from the late Nintendo 64, early GameCube era, which would have been on display in several stores during the release of the Nintendo GameCube. So I had to add this one to this GameCube collection. So as you can tell, I have some great Nintendo GameCube items in my collection, ranging from expensive games, pretty difficult to find standees, encounter displays, some really cool promotional items in the GameCube era, and just all of these pretty awesome controllers, consoles, boxes, and other neat items that I have found over the years to add to my collection. And some of these are difficult to get in one entire shot because they are just so large and so great looking on display, such as the Nintendo neon sign, the Mario Kart Double Dash banner, the Mario Standee that is huge, and even my GameCube kiosk. So of course, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go ahead and check out my other videos and stay tuned for more.